The invisible work. Why success starts when no one is watching. When no one is watching, that's when I work the hardest. It is not for applause, recognition, or external validation. It is because in those quiet moments, I hold myself accountable to a scorecard that no one else sees. It is relentless inner voice that says, if you are not working now, you are just pretending. And that accountability, intensely private, deeply personal, is what drives me forward. Success is often romanticized, but here is the truth. The real sign you are succeeding is the hate, doubt, and jealousy that start surfacing around you. Everyone wants you to win until you do. People cheer for the underdog sleeping on the gym floor, chasing a dream, but when that same underdog becomes the boss, the tone changes. The sport turns into sarcasm. The same people who rooted for you begin whispering, "Oh, look who thinks he is better than us now." What changed? You did, and they did not. It is hard pill to swallow, but people often want you to succeed, just not more than them, and that harsh reality creates a kind of pain. But pain, I have learned, is not the enemy. It is the proof you are alive, whether you are plateauing, declining, or just stuck. That edge you feel is not a problem. It is a signal. It is means you are still in the game. That's why I work all the time, not because I am addicted to productivity or chasing burnout, but because I love the pursuit. People say that's not healthy, but what's healthy, really? If I spend every minute doing what I love, what part of that is wrong? I work harder now than I did when I was broke, not because I have to, but because I have learned to enjoy the process. The work has become more meaningful than the destination. You see, everyone believes in the American dream until it comes true. They love the idea of you grinding in the shadows, but they are not prepared for you to actually win. And when you do, they will dismiss it as luck or an overnight success. But they did not see the 10 years of failure, frustration, and invisible labor. They were not watching when it was hard, so when you finally win, it jars them. That's the paradox of success. No one noticed the struggle, only the result, which makes the fear of failure in front of others completely irrational. No one is paying attention when you are losing. They will only care once you win, and by then, it is too late for them to say you did not earn it. The hardest part about entrepreneurship and personal growth in the uncertainty. You don't know when the breakthrough is coming, but you still have to keep showing up. You keep pushing, not because success is granted, but because no trying is rose. Hard work is not complicated. It is just incredible hard. It is about relentless focus. It is about doing the small things well. It is about noticing the difference between average and exceptional. And if you don't yet know what that difference is, good, because that's the gap hard work is meant to be close. So work like no one is watching, because most of the time they are not, but that does not mean it does not count. In fact, that's when it matters the most. Hard work is not the goal, it is the game. Most people think they know what hard work is, but the truth is, we tend to define hard work as the hardest we have ever worked, not the actual level of effort needed to reach the outcomes we say we want. This subtle misunderstanding is where most dreams quickly die. The reality of greatness. Once you get great at something truly exceptional, you realize how much work it really takes. It is not a few late nights or grinding for a few months. It is often 5 to 7 years of focused, consistent effort, and in that moment of realization, there is an almost painful awareness. We only have time to be great at 2 or 3 things in our entire lives. That awareness demands discipline. You must choose carefully where you direct your energy, knowing that greatness is one domain might mean saying no to many others. The cycle of excellence. Relentless hard work is not just a strategy, it becomes an identity. The path to excellence is not about discovering some hidden hack, it is about waking up, listening to that one voice inside you, and doing what needs to be done. It is less about being taught and more about being reminded. Just do the work. So many of us have spent hours procrastinating, avoiding a task we knew needed to be done. And then, when we finally do it, we realize it took far less time and energy than the act of avoidance did. Had we just started, we could have accomplished much more. Momentum over motivation. The key to productivity is often not in planning, but in momentum. Shrink the gap between when you wake up and when you start. Shrink the gap between finishing one task and starting the next. We don't need a 30-minute warm-up routine to get ready to work. We need to smart. And once we do, the thread begins to unravel. And ironically, many business owners work long hours yet see minimum results. Why? Because they work on the wrong things in the wrong way. Working hard is not enough. You need to work smart. The formula is simple. Output is equal volume into leverage. Volume, leverage, and the virtuous cycle. If you make 100 sales calls, your leverage is your skill. A more skilled person gets 10 times the results from the same number of calls. But how do you get skilled? By doing the reps. That's the cycle. More works leads to better skills, which leads to more return on every effort. I learned a concept from a gym owner who ran multiple successful facilities. His managers worked open to goal, meaning they did not stop when the clock said so. They stopped when the goal was met. So days they hit it by noon, others days they were grinding until midnight. That's the mindset of a high performer, output based effort. You keep shooting free throws until you hit 100. You run until the pass is right. You rehearse your pitch until it's flawless, and the more often you do what's required, the more often you get what you want. When no one is watching, true discipline is working harder when no one is watching. That internal scoreboard, the only you see, is the real judge. It is not about providing something to the world. It is about providing something to yourself. You lash yourself with discipline only to discover that you can take it and keep going. That realization becomes addictive. You learn what you are truly capable of. The true goal is the work itself. Hard work should not be means to an end. If you say, I will work